So after you get your squares sewn into a row, it tells you to press your seam allowances open. So very carefully, you're going to open that up and then just kind of run the tip of the iron over that seam. Now I'm going to do this one. Open it up. Keep your fingers out of the way so the steam doesn't burn them. And then you've got them pressed open. All right, so after you have all your rows sewn and pressed, we're now going to put the first two rows together. And we want to pin across the bottom here, and then we're going to sew that up. So I like to put a pin in the middle, and then I also put it right on that seam because I like to line up the seam so my squares line up after I sew it. I'm going to put in another pin here, and then one more on this end. Okay, we'll attach the last row after we sew this one. So, make sure you guys can see on my machine here. I'm going to line this up with the edge of my presser foot. So lower that down, lower my needle. I'm going to sew forward, raise up my stitch length selector and back stitch, and then sew forward the rest of the way down. And I'll kind of put it this way so you can see exactly where I'm lined up. I'm going to sew all the way down to the other end here and back stitch again. I'm not going to worry that these two squares aren't perfectly lined up. We'll trim it after we sew all the rows together. Okay, so I just want to show you, I sewed down that seam. It's going to open up this way, and then I'm going to attach my last row. So once again, pretty sides together, going to line up the bottom, pin and sew, and it will open up like this. And then we need to do one more pressing. Okay, just wanted to show you, I attached all my rows together. It looks like this. I'm now going to press, and it kind of looks like all my seams want to lay down this way, so I'm just going to press them down. I kind of pull on my rows as I press down, just because you don't want any creases, so it's okay to go over this side as well. Get it all nice and flat. Use water if you need to. All right, the last thing I'm going to do before moving on to my next step is trim off these threads and trim up any squares that are kind of overlapping. And then you're ready to attach the back.